Welcome back, wrestling WWE fans. Tonight we revisit a confrontation that didn't need fists to shake the foundations of Raw. It was words that cut the deepest, as Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre got into one of the nastiest verbal exchanges we've seen in years. The crowd expected sparks, but what they got was fire. This wasn't the usual back and forth between rivals. It was personal, laced with history, and dripping with venom. Every word spoken carried the weight of years of scars. When Randy Orton speaks, the world listens. He has mastered the art of turning silence into tension and words into weapons. Drew McIntyre, however, is no stranger to pain or betrayal. He has stood against empires, fought through exile, and carried the burden of rebuilding his name. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. And while this rivalry is theirs, the shadow of the bloodline still lingered. WWE has been poisoned by its legacy of power, pressure, and betrayal, and those echoes shaped the tone of what unfolded. Drew began with fire in his voice. He reminded Randy of the nights when legends fell to his claymore, of the years he carried the company when others faltered. His words weren't arrogance, they were a plea to be remembered as more than just a passing name. Randy smirked, calm as ever. With just a glance, he dismissed Drew's words, reminding him of his failures, of the opportunities wasted, of the times he fell short when greatness was in his grasp. The exchange grew nastier with each passing second. Randy accused Drew of being desperate, clinging to relevance. Drew accused Randy of being a snake, a man who never fought with heart but always with betrayal. The arena felt the tension. It wasn't about titles in that moment. It was about respect, about two men demanding the other acknowledge their legacy. And neither was willing to bend. The crowd swayed with every insult, gasping at Randy's cruelty and roaring at Drew's defiance. It was theater and truth colliding, two warriors unmasking each other with nothing but words. And then came the shocking climax. Randy, smirk gone, stepped closer, his voice low and sharp. He reminded Drew of the one night he would never escape, Clash of Champions, where Randy humiliated him and broke his spirit. The words landed harder than any RKO. Drew's face hardened, his fists clenched, his body trembling with rage. In that instant, the verbal war threatened to explode into violence. Drew snapped, shoving Randy back, his fury spilling over. The arena erupted, security rushing in as the verbal exchange escalated into chaos. Randy laughed in the face of it all, his smirk returning, satisfied that his words had done the damage. The aftermath was chilling. Drew stood tall but shaken, his anger visible, his pride scarred. Randy, meanwhile, left calmly, his point made, his psychological warfare complete. Backstage whispers spread quickly. Some said Randy wanted this moment all along, that his plan was never to fight Drew physically but to break him mentally. Others believed Drew is teetering, his patience stretched thin by constant disrespect. Veterans backstage noted how much this resembled the bloodline's poison. The same tactics Roman Reigns used, psychological pressure, humiliation, manipulation, now echoed through Randy's words. The Empire's influence lingers everywhere. For Drew, this exchange wasn't just about Randy. It was about every betrayal he's ever suffered, every time he stood against giants and was left bleeding, alone. Randy's words ripped those wounds open again. For Randy, this was another masterpiece in a career built on venom. He didn't need to strike physically. He planted doubt, anger, and rage inside Drew's mind. That was the real attack. Fans online exploded with reactions. Some sided with Randy's sharp truths, others defended Drew's passion, but all agreed this wasn't a typical promo. It was war with words. And the question now lingers, has Randy already won? Because in WWE, the battle is often decided before the bell rings, in the moments when one man takes another's spirit. The Bloodline's shadow adds another layer. Their history taught everyone in WWE that betrayal and pressure are the sharpest weapons. Tonight, Randy wielded those lessons with surgical precision. Drew, however, thrives on redemption. Every scar he carries has only fueled his fire. Perhaps this exchange is not the end but the beginning of a storm he will unleash on Randy. And yet, the pain in Drew's eyes told a deeper story. This wasn't just another feud. This was a reminder that trust, respect, and loyalty are fragile things in WWE's world of betrayal. As the show ended, fans were left with more questions than answers. Will this verbal war lead to blood spilled in the ring? Or has Randy already carved his victory in Drew's heart? Because in WWE, legacies are not only written in victories and championships. They are written in betrayal, in broken trust, and in blood. And tonight, Randy Orton reminded Drew McIntyre, and all of us, that words can wound deeper than fists, and betrayal doesn't always need an attack, it can be spoken, and it can scar forever.